It's the week of the 2000s. The record we'll be going over today is Drukqs by Aphex Twin. Electronic, drill and bass, and wild eccentric pioneer Richard D. James is otherwise known as Aphex Twin. By this point for Richard, he had already given us his creative peak with the Richard D. James album back in '96, which gave us some of the most fun and creative tunes coming out of the IDM scene for that time. Now, I have already talked about his debut record on my channel, Saw 85 to 92, specifically talking about its intricacies and its influence for the foreseeable future. It's a good record. I would suggest you go check that out. Richard kept experimenting with his sound on Saw Volume 2 and I Care Because You Do, and how could I forget the EPs that he released in the late 90s, such as the Winderlicker EP, which was the biggest commercial success he had ever seen by that point. With some tracks on this 2001 record, it has been reported that a few songs in the making of this pretty much played on their own, as in being controlled by the computer entirely. Now, this album, Drukqs, sets itself between two distinct albums, basically making it a double LP. The first half is where you'll get some wild ass instrumentations, even more wild than Come to Daddy Once Upon a Time. The second half is where you'll get the newer material, more specifically with the prepared piano, which is a technique that was pioneered by the American composer John Cage back in 1938. This technique modifies the standard piano by placing objects like screws, bolts, erasers, and etc. that create certain timbres and altering sounds. Now, this album is widely considered one of his most divisive albums to date, and for good reason, because critics and mainstream audiences thought this was polarizing and probably his most irrelevant release, but there were still fans that enjoyed this all around. The runtime being nearly 2 hours long and consisting of 30 tracks, this was quite intimidating for me before I decided to listen to it, because I have already enjoyed his past works. But with all that being said, I will still tell you that this is a great album to me, at least to some degree. I won't mention every single track, not just for my sake, but for the sake of you guys too, so I don't kill y'all's time watching this. So I'll just mention a good chunk of the track list. Now, the prepared piano on this record is the biggest highlight I took away from it. Hour 14th is my favorite off the record. It's a beautiful piano piece, and if you listen closely, you'll hear the slight intricacies from that technique. It's also a track that was used in Kanye West's Blame Game just a couple of years down the road.
Let's play the blame game. I love you.
QKTHR is a track you probably heard from all the Animal Core videos from the internet. The titles of these songs sound a lot more like gibberish, if not Cornish, but given some of the wild-ass sounds with tracks like Fort Hospin, which features eccentric percussion and drums, it makes sense. 54 Simaru Beats is a more laid-back cut with drill and bass. Lorna Derrick is a bit of an odd track to put here. It's literally just his family singing happy birthday to him. Bech Ku 3 EPNM is another acoustic piano piece that could easily go into a Minecraft playthrough very well. Metal Phase 6 brings back those aspirations of ambient music from all those years ago. Taking Control sounds like something straight out of a video game. Strathathine and Nanu 2 are beautiful piano pieces. And while I did enjoy the album for the most part, I think the runtime being nearly 2 hours long kills the record for me to a degree. Now, to me, this record stands as one of his best works to date. It was such an off-kiltered project that runs a little too long for me, but there was still a lot to enjoy here on this project. I would say that I do understand why some people wouldn't enjoy this record because of its runtime and the wild off-the-cuff rhythms this record sets itself in. But even if you are skeptical or intimidated by the runtime, I would encourage you to give this record a fair shot, because it's not like Richard was lazily making these sounds. I know that I find a lot of records that are roughly, if not over 90 minutes long, to never earn the runtime, but this record to me is one of the select few exceptions, which is why I'll give this an A-. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe on another record you want me to review next. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.